showtime. It's about that time. Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet.
Yeah. Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix and LK Mason.
Give them that flavor.
What is going on, y'all? This is Nova Phoenix. This is GCOM Radio, and right here with me is the lovely and illustrious LK Mason. What's up, LK?
What's up, Nova P? How are you?
Good, man. Good, man. It's been a while since we've been on, man. It's been a while.
I know, right?
And because of good things, as always. So this is our first show on the iHeartRadio platform. Give it up.
Yes.
That's what's up, man. It's a beautiful thing. It was hard at work. And I was like, at the time, I was like, man, I'm just trying to do the last show, the episode 24. And it was like, you know, how am I going to keep on doing shows? And I'm still trying to prepare for this transition over onto this new platform. And I was like, you know what? I can't do everything. Let's just pause it for the cause and just work on the other stuff. You know what I mean?
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you. I'm proud of you because you got some things that's going on too at the same time.
Yeah.
You got on blackenterprise.com.
Blackenterprise.com, man.
Talk about it, man. What happened? What's good?
Yes. Well, you know, I basically was promoting my book, and someone that I had done some work with previously was one of the celebrities that I work with, Tyrese Gibson. She said, hey, if you send me a business angle, we can get it published on Black Enterprise. And I'm like, say what? And so, yeah, so shout out to B. Much love to you. I really appreciate you showing me love. I basically give advice on how to self-publish your children's book. So if you're interested in self-publishing a children's book, you want to head over to blackenterprise.com and take a look at my article.
That's what's up, and we'll put the link in the actual post of the show and all the other platforms so people could click on the link right
Absolutely.
there. That's beautiful, man. It's all about stepping stones and going one step higher, and then getting closer to reaching that objective. That's what's up. Shout that out.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Zayna the Brave. So definitely you guys could go on Lyfeblood.com. The iHeartRadio button is at the top of the landing page. So you could go straight to the show on iHeartRadio. Of course, we'll always blog about the show and any other details in the Lyfeblood Media Center. So we got good things that we're planning here. You know, we're working on building partnerships to really take it to the next level for Lyfeblood.com and for GCOM Radio, doing events, doing conferences, and getting some partners involved with it, sponsorship partners to get involved with the show and really blasting it off for 2019. So a lot of beautiful things are taking place here and getting on the ground and having, more sleepless nights and grinding it out. So shout out to even Kenya, man. Shout out to Kenya Gibson on the Connect over at the iHeartRadio station in New York, man. We appreciate it. So, all right, so we're going to get this going and get the show rocking and rolling. So, the first segment of the show.
When you said that, I want to say, what's that song? Rolling. That just popped up in my head, man. My bad. Back to the subject.
that's no problems. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, the first segment, man, is Nipsey Hussle. As we all know, what happened with Nipsey Hussle, it's all over the news, it's all over social media, and the brother being shot by someone he knew, man, while he was in front of his store, and but out of this unfortunate event, a lot of good is coming from it. A lot of these celebrities, rappers, are supporting Nipsey Hussle's mission to really connect the hood and build bridges and create some peace decrees amongst all the gangs in LA.
Yes.
And it was a beautiful thing because they were rolling hard out there in LA. showing love to Nipsey Hussle right in front of his store. A lot of people showed up. Even the celebrity music community was showing love, you know, and shouting them out on IG and Twitter and all that.
Over the place.
And that's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. But I, you know what? Sometimes I'm like, I hate to say it, but I wish that we got to keep that same energy with our brothers and sisters that are alive, man. If we really wanted to make these connections and start building that foundation, let's do it while we alive. And that's the only thing. No, nothing to folks out there that's actually doing stuff for the community because of Nipsey's unfortunate demise. But let's keep this same energy, man, afloat, because I'm loving it, and it's like it's getting me pumped because I'm like it was a necessary thing out there in LA and all communities across America, man. That's what's up, man. What you thought about this whole thing?
I mean, I was deeply saddened, you know. For me, at first, you know, I was like, I had heard his name, but I didn't really know his music, hadn't really known anything about him. You know, me, the lame who didn't know that. What song was that? Was by Drake? Anyway. And so when I started seeing posts all over the place and people saying so many beautiful things about Nipsey Hussle, I said, man, let me see what he was about. And it was really saddening for me. You know, it was really heartbreaking. I almost shed a tear for somebody I don't even know. But he just seemed like a beautiful soul. And just, he had so much ahead of him. And just for his life to be just wiped out like that over something that seems like it's nonsensical. It just, man, how do you, I don't even have the words to address how that makes you feel, you know?
Right. I hear you. I mean, I was watching this brother from a while back, and you know, always takes me time to buy records. You know, I never go by the first album, and I always have this purist mentality of where hip hop should be, hip hop culture. So I'm always skeptical of hearing new people, but hearing Nipsey, I'm like, okay, you know, he kind of reminded me of Snoop. And I was like, all right, but what really kind of put me on this Nipsey was not the music, but the message that he was bringing. Whenever he did interviews outside in the streets or in studio, he was a brother that he was a product of his environment, but at the same time, he was learning and growing and expanding his worldview on where he saw his people, not just in LA, but his people just, you know, in general, black folk in this country. And I heard those gems. I'm like, this dude, he has promise. And I was talking about I was listening to his album when I was in the barbershop. I was like, man, this is Nipsey. Yo, I got to cop that album. This is like 2-3 weeks before this whole thing jumped off. I'm like, yo, I got to cop this album. This dude is nice. And, you know, him getting his Grammy nomination and everything like that. And then I'm like, I was so wanting to see where he was going to go. And then this hood effery took place by haters. You know what I mean? And that self-hate, I cannot see
it's just
it any other
paralyzing.
way
it's
but
like
self-hate. You know what I mean?
You can't even find the words. Your body you just can't speak. You can't move. You can't. It's like, why do you do something like this to somebody of this magnitude, trying to do amazing things for his community? Why would you do that?
Why you just don't walk away, bro? Say, you know, take your lump and be like, all right, he ain't messing with me. I'm gonna just do. Nah, he had to take out his own anger and frustration from being in the hood, and then redistributing. I just get that from Charlemagne, by redistributing that hate back out to hit the people that look like him. And because it was from Nipsey, he took that hate out, and that's pretty, you know, characteristic of living in poor neighborhoods. And you ain't got nothing, you stressed out, you ain't got no money, you gotta live on the streets, you gotta sell drugs, and the mentality forms over time. And this dude, yo, you can even tell from his name.
And you're angry at somebody who is making it and somebody who did make it out, you know? You have that entitlement, like, okay, you can't make it without me. If you make it, you gotta take me. But I want to say big ups to Jay-Z. You know, I don't know if you read that he gave $17 million to put in the trust for Nipsey's children. God bless you, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And I'm reading that that's not the first thing that Jay-Z has done. I'm seeing that he has helped a lot of people while they're living. Right. And that's one of the key things you were saying earlier. You know, let's show this love to each other and help each other while we're living.
Right.
And I read where he had helped several people through some difficulties they were having. So, God bless you, Jay-Z. Big ups to you.
Big ups.
And did you see what Big Boy posted about the comments that old boy had said about Lauren London?
This fool. Oh, man.
What's his name again? I can't even remember his name.
Kodak Black.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, Big Boy put it to him raw. And he wasn't using profanity or anything like that. He put the real out there and he let him know, we will not tolerate this type of disrespect for this king
on IG?
And his queen.
It was on IG.
And he put it on IG. And I guess somebody from another radio station had already vowed to no longer play Kodak Black's music. And, Big Boy kind of stopped short of saying he would do that, but he did make it known that this type of disrespect will not be tolerated. He made it known that not only are you disrespecting them, you're disrespecting pop. And as somebody from hip hop, he was calling for everybody in the hip hop culture to come together and stop disrespecting each other and disrespecting the culture. Yeah, he put it real. You got to check out that post, man.
Yeah, I'll check it out, man. When I heard that, I was like, "Come on, bro, really?"
Silly young business, that?
Like, who says that? And then of course, it's clout chasing. It's about getting attention and clicks.
Right.
And he was trying to get a reaction from the crowd, but being young, dumb, and stupid, not knowing it's not the appropriate time for this. And poor taste.
Disgusting.
Yo, bruh, really? Ain't nobody pulling you aside, and then what's his name? A couple of West Coast cats got at Kodak. The Game, of course T.I. from ATL, and my thing was, one person was like, "Yo, why they talking violence to the Kodak Black?" I was like, it's not even on some violence tip like they're gonna go out and shoot the dude or hurt him. It's not love. It's about grown men having to give grown man slaps to a young dude. Right. And you know how your little kid act out of place and you got to slap him one time to say, stop acting up. That's how they was talking. A lot of times people don't know how to translate that anger that they were given, especially with Game. They're not going to do that and hurt the dude. They was doing it more as grown man business. Stop this idiotic. This is not the time for it. And we need that in hip hop. We need to self-check. We need to self-check. We don't need that mess. Look, you're going to do all that. A reality show, wilding out on IG and social media biz. Right now, this ain't the place for it.
Nah, man. Not at all.
So yeah, somebody, and he made his apology. I don't know if you saw it. He made his Kodak said some half-hearted apology.
Yeah, I heard it was half-hearted, not really there.
It was stupid. I'm like, man, somebody. And then as you said, the radio's gonna pull his music off the, and that's very so.
Good. Teach him a lesson.
Good. Teach him a lesson. Boom, boom. We need that. We need self-check. Put these cats is acting out of pocket.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard the other thing when right after the situation happened with Nipsey, some random dude, two cats went on IG and posted a video and one of the cats was saying, "Yeah, I did it. I shot him. Boom, 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 boom." And the other dude was like, "For real? You gonna do that?" And it all turned out to be fake. And I'm really, man, we really doing this for attention,
really?
Right? You really want to get bagged by the police. Oh man, that hurt my heart. I was like, this is out of control. This is straight out of control. But yeah, the world we live in. So condolences to the family, to Lauren London.
Yes.
Much love to the kids and prayers out to Nipsey, and I hope his message carries on with the people and it's sustained, man. That was a good brother, man. He was a good. Watching his interview, if you had time, watch his interviews, man. Yeah. He really gives you insight on where his mind was at, and he was a soldier. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right. So, as everyone knows, if people don't know, we do come with music, and one of the songs that we coming up with now is Prince the Model from Las Vegas with Only in a Night, and you're hearing the song right here on the iHeart platform, GCOM Radio. But if you do want to see the video, go to our YouTube channel, Lyfeblood.com, and yeah, man, it's dope visuals. So Only in a Night.
Ooh, a GCOM exclusive.
I'm gonna change your life. We gon' take some flights. We gon' spend some time. Only in one night. One night. One night. Only in one night. I'm gonna change your life. We gon' take some flights. We gon' spend some time. Only in one night. We gon' exercise. All between your thighs. Ride me like a bike. Only in one night. One night.
It's GCOM Radio.
I am one of the flyers
on iHeartRadio.
One night, one night. Only in one night, I'm gonna change your life. We gon' take some flights. We gon' spend some time. Only in one night, we gon' exercise. All between your thighs. Ride me like a bike. Only in one night, one night, one night, one night. One night, one night. Only in one night. I'ma fuck you right. I'ma hold you tight. Ride me like a bike. Only in one night. I'ma hold you tight. Fuck your body, fuck your body, Only in one night. I'm gon' change your life. We gon' take some flights. We gon' spend some time. Only in one night. We gon' exercise. All between your thighs. Ride me like a bike. Only in one night. I'm gon' change your life. We gon' take some flights. We gon' spend some time. Only in one night. We gon' exercise. All between your thighs. Ride me like a bike. Only in one night. One night. One night. One night. Only in one night. One night. One night.
Okay, we are back, man. We just heard some good tunes, man. Always love hearing on up and coming artists, man. If anybody wants to submit music, please send it to submissions@Lyfeblood.com. 2 songs, 2 JPEGs of yourself and your crew, whoever you are, and your place of residence, so we can shout you out. R&B and hip hop mostly, but pop music, whatever. You know, we'll listen to all of it. That's a big part of the show because I love music. I've always been in music, as you know, both of us anyway. So right before we get into that next part of the segment, purpose, we were talking off air, so to speak, quote unquote, about 2 other things that we was curious about this whole thing with the shooting of Nipsey Hussle. One, found it peculiar that the lady that drove Eric Holder, the guy that shot Nipsey Hussle, she was let go by the cops. She said she didn't know what was happening, and the cops agreed to it and let her go, which I found that extremely weird because usually in this case, you can get some sort of charge of aiding and abetting a criminal. And she told the cops that she didn't know that when he got in the car that this whole thing happened. I'm like, and I found that kind of peculiar because in an event like that, a dude's gonna hop in the car, sweaty, breathing heavy, all disheveled, and he's gonna tell you, drive, get out of here. So you're gonna see a sense of urgency in him. So how do you not know that something crazy, something wrong happened. So I don't believe her when she says she didn't know. And then I still understand why the cops let her go. Number two, Christopher Darden, the legal counsel that was prosecuting O.J. Simpson during the O.J. Simpson trial, he's representing Eric Holder. How did that happen? I mean, how, bro? How? You know what I mean? And you just don't want black people to love you. It's Christopher Darden.
He's just trying to get in the limelight again or something. What's up with that? Because I'm guessing Eric Holder ain't got no money like that.
Look, he was a part of a high profile case back in the day. I find it hard to believe that this dude can't find work. But
right.
He's a lawyer.
But I'm saying I'm guessing that Eric Holder don't have the type of money that it requires to get the services of Darden.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm like,
no money. So where's Christopher Darden coming into?
How you represent him?
How you represent him? Who's footing the bill for this?
Right.
That's another question mark that people gotta ask. You're right, La. All right. So anyway, we're gonna get into the next topic of discussion. This is about Beyonce. Beyonce left the Reebok meeting over lack of diversity in the room. So in essence, what happened in the short and sweet, she walked in, she was going to get this deal with Reebok. She walked into the room, looked around, she ain't seen nobody that looked like her, and she asked one question: is this the team who will be working on my product? Somebody said yes. She said at some point, she got up, she said thank you, but no thank you, because these people do not. Now let me not paraphrase, because the statement is right here. She says, no one in this room reflects my background or skin color and where I'm from and what I want to do. So she kindly took a step back and left the table.
So she's quoted in saying that. We know for a fact that she said that, because I'm hearing that. The Daily News is saying that. Go ahead. I'm hearing that Reebok is saying that, that's bull.
Right.
And they don't really know why the deal didn't go through, but I don't know.
Right. They
and we all know Queen Bee is never going to speak on it, so.
No, she's a queen in her own right. She steps a certain way. She ain't gonna.
She's not talk about that.
She's not. Yeah, she ain't gonna get into drama for no reason. But you know what? Personally, I think it happened. And ain't
if it did, big ups to her. Good for you, Beyonce.
Good for you. You want to see people that look like you in those rooms that's going to work on this product and is going to put your face right next to this product? There should be people in the room that look like her.
And she has the leverage to be able to do something like that. Now, not everybody has that power that Beyonce has, where they could just be like, "Oop, nah, this isn't for me," because they need that money. But Beyonce, yeah.
Now, what's that say about diversity, especially after this whole hullabaloo with this whole drama with Gucci? You think companies would kind of say, you know what? Yeah, even if it wasn't, as I say, premeditated and them doing this whole blackface neck thing or whatever with Gucci, if it was just a simple matter of making those mistakes because there was a lack of diversity in the room, you think companies would say, you know what, maybe we need, if we're gonna get Beyonce, let's get some people that can relate to her brand. You know what I mean? So in case we don't understand the nuance of her brand or how she wants to present herself, let's get somebody in the room. But no, none of these companies do that, man.
They haven't been made to do that in the past, and so they feel like they can get away with it. They think that we're some slaves or something, that you do whatever you want to do as long as you cut that check, I guess. I'm just saying, I don't know. But since you brought up Gucci, people were kind of going in on Khloe Kardashian because she had posted a picture of her daughter True with a Gucci shirt on, and people were like going in, and I was like, myself, I even commented, I said, well, maybe she doesn't know, maybe she's not aware yet of what people were saying about Gucci, because she does have an African American child. And then she had posted another photo, and I can't remember exactly what was in the photo. I think she was surrounded by all Gucci stuff, and it was a paid Gucci ad. And I think people started attacking her again, and I was like, hold up. maybe she does know, and she just does not care. You know what I mean? What has been going on, and she has this African American child. And then, you know, because I really like Khloe Kardashian. You know, I love the Kardashians, period. And I was like, man, but this doesn't seem like she moves like that. You know, if you watch the show, you can kind of get a gauge a little bit of their characters. It doesn't seem like Khloe moves like that. What? So then, not too long after that, when she posted a picture of herself surrounded by all this Gucci stuff, that picture was deleted. So, yeah, nobody made a statement or anything, but the picture was deleted.
You know, I can't believe these celebrities totally live in a bubble. Like, I doubt that they weren't aware of this. Like, I can't see it.
I don't know. When you got...
And it says, go ahead. You got what?
I mean, yeah. I want to be on her side. I can't imagine that you wouldn't know, but I guess you could not know because, hey, I didn't know who Nipsey Hussle was. You know?
Yeah, man. I ain't going for it. They know. Sometimes celebs try to get away with it because they're celebrities and they think that, okay, it'll be a little minor rumbles out there in the community, but, you know, it's a storm that we can weather and we'll get past. I know,
and her best friend, she has a black best friend, so I'm kind of like, how did you not know? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's great. Listen.
I love you, Khloe, though. I'm not, you know... He brought up Gucci, and it made me think about the situation that I was excited that you took the picture down. So maybe you became aware of it and then took it down or something. I don't know.
Listen. Sometimes I'm at a loss for words because it's twofold, right? We have a lack of diversity in these corporate offices, right? And then we have corporate offices because of lack of diversity or other nefarious reasons do something that's lacks some sort of sensitivity to a particular group of people. And then on the flip side, you have celebrities that be like, I don't care, I'm just gonna wear it anyway. And it's like, no, you cannot be that oblivious. So it's both parties have to blame, man, because, you know, what do you say about Gucci Mane? You know, Gucci Mane, he named himself after Gucci. I don't think he has planned to make any changes to his name.
I doubt that.
He ain't calling himself Muhammad Ali. So, but I'm saying, bro, I mean, and then people want to make excuses. One, who said this? I think it was one artist that was like, you know, I bought all this Gucci before. I ain't gonna throw away all my Gucci. I'm like, yo, B, really? You got money. You don't need the Gucci. Really, $5,000 is nothing to you. So what does it matter if you burn it or not? Well,
I saw someone African American posting something. Was it a commercial or something for Dolce & Gabbana? And I was like, wait a minute, wasn't there this big scandal about Dolce & Gabbana that had to do with some type of racial thing or whatever, and everybody sported them? Are we not mad at them anymore? What's going on? And it was like somebody, and I can't, I didn't know we were going to talk about this, otherwise I would have remembered who I saw. But it was a celebrity that, you know, you would have expected to be standing against it. So I'm like, okay, have we forgiven Dolce & Gabbana?
Yo, you could literally put a stop clock on people's anger when it comes to when these major brands do something stupid or corporations. Like, they'll get all mad and 5 minutes later they'll be like, huh? What happened?
He said, huh? What happened?
I'll put it back on. It's cool now. I'm like, yo, son. Yo, look, if you want... Oh my God, it's hard. To me, I have certain principles. Like, it was too obvious for them to do that. And I know we're getting off the topic of diversity, but right quick. But cut them out. If you want to wear Fendi, all that, it's all your business. It's not a matter. You want to wear fashion, that's you. But then you have to have some sort of moral, ethical center, or say, you know what, I'm no longer representing them. I'm not going to put that on my back anymore. But you know what? There are other brands out there that I'm going to wear. I'm going to put on Front Street. Like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna, whatever. Just you have a backbone, man. Have a backbone, and it hurts when you see these people on TV and you see Khloe. Yeah, Khloe, yeah, I'm talking about you. And then she's like, yeah, I'm gonna just put it on my. I'm like, yo, man, it's like fighting an uphill battle when you ready to go, and the next thing you know, the crowd just be like sheepishly just goes with the flow. And like, so I just wasted my breath this whole time. And as far as diversity is concerned, I'm like, all right, so these companies don't want to do diversity. They're staring you in the face. They lost that possible deal with Beyonce. Are the bosses in these offices going to be like, you know what, we should diversify. Let's work on this today. Are they going to do that? Do they have to? They probably won't have to because they're Reebok.
They know that people are going to buy it regardless.
What do we do from here? I'm asking you. Yeah, you're going to buy it regardless. So I'm asking you, what's the next step? Beyonce walked away. If the story is true, now what? What?
I don't know what they
People
do,
still
but
gonna
first
buy
let me
Reebok?
say that I'm not faulting any company that doesn't have diversity in their upper management or whatever. It doesn't always mean that are, racist or, none of that stuff. It isn't always something that's negative.
No.
What I'm applauding is that Beyonce knows what she wants as a brand, and she knows what she wants as her business deals, and she sticks with it. And I've heard she's always been like that, throughout the years, and especially since she can have her voice of her own. And so I applaud her for saying, hey, this isn't a good fit for me, so I'm going to walk away.
And that's her prerogative. Is it going to change Reebok?
I think it should, but I don't know that it will.
Corporate practices as far as diversity is concerned? Probably not. I don't think so, because you know what? There's no cameras in these offices every day, all day. We don't know what happens behind closed doors. So, but what I think it should be done, again, I always support diverse companies. Number one. Number two, support black-owned companies, all right, that are doing the same exact thing. Support them. Get them on the runway. Help them get them in front stage.
But do you think it's wrong, and this is going to be off the topic too, but I just think this is too juicy not to say it. Do you think it's wrong that as a community we celebrate whenever we see, like, how we see pictures of all black stewardesses on a flight, or all black this in a company, or all black that? Is it wrong to celebrate that, but then on the other hand saying that we need diversity? No,
because that in itself is diversity. When's the last time you seen an all black flight crew on a commercial plane? When? So now when you see on IG, you see I think it was an all woman flight crew, and it was black. I think. But when I saw that, I thought that was like, wow, that's fantastic.
I think it's a beautiful thing to see, but I don't want it to be the same practice that they may be practicing, allegedly are practicing, where they're not hiring people of color because they inferior or whatever. And then I don't want, all black companies to not hire someone who's qualified and they're not black, just because of the color of their skin. That's the point that I'm making.
I understand. I'm like, treat people as people, right? If they're
Don't
qualified to do a job, hire them. Don't care what color you are,
right?
But it's also the task of black people, knowing that there are discriminatory practices in many companies, in just business in general in the United States. It is our duty to hire people that are just as talented, that look like us, to get into those rooms. All right. Well, I'm not saying totally lock out other people. No, but I'm saying it is our job. That's
especially
what we have
if it's
to do.
Someone who gets us. You know what I mean? Who has the qualifications, and they get us and are able to contribute to our companies in that way. Right. It's kind of difficult to hire someone who, it has to be a good fit. It just does. It's like hiring someone to be a choreographer and they've never danced, So if your brand is all about the African American culture and someone doesn't know about it, it's going to be hard to hire that person. But if you do have someone, because there are some of my Caucasian brothers and sisters that probably know more about our culture than we do, and they're qualified.
They're putting some gas in shame.
Yes. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that. Word. Yes.
Right. Shout out to Peter Rosenberg on Hot 97. I listen to in the morning when I go to work, and he know more about hip hop than a lot of cats that's in the business right now. And I'm like, I gotta give it up because they're like, listen, if they feel like, man, if I want to be accepted into this culture, I'm not gonna go like a fly by night Vanilla Ice type of person. I'm like, yo, I'm a part of this. I grew up in this, and I'm gonna show you. And I give mad respect to people like that. You know, you a part of it too. However, when it comes to the business part, that's where we have the problem. Because it's like in all sectors of business in America, black people and brown people have been locked out.
I think it's a part of them not thinking that we have that mentality to fit in where they are, you know, because they don't have that experience with us. And that's where the cultural diversity training and everything that all companies should have in place. Right. If you have an HR department, they should be making sure that everyone has that in place, that it should come into play and help people, you know?
Right. No doubt. You're right. It's a long way to go. We still got a long way to go, man. All right, so we're going to get into the next song, the next jewel we got going. And what we got is Detroit YB, of course, out of Detroit. It's in his name, with Flash Dollars. Come on, check this one.
That money come quick.
Shade.
Gotta catch up. Real. Flash.
Hustle. Double up enough. If it seemed like a dead end, we turn it into something. Get the fuck off the bandwagon, cause you ain't even coming. You wasn't even with me. How the fuck you gon' just pop up like you was in the city? I just hustle for that pot love. We taking nickels pennies. And we got the money propped up, cause we ain't used to getting it.
We ain't used to flossing.
Take the work out the backpack.
The streets is like my office.
Just saying, I've been chasing for that dollar bill. It's amazing how that dollar feel. Corporation to them dollar deals. Then we back to chasing for that dollar still.
Get it like I'm Flash, and then I spin it fast.
What it do?
It's GCOM Radio
I am one of the flyers.
on iHeartRadio.
Spin it fast. Get it like I'm Flash, and then I spin it fast. Hustle crazy, I'm a loco. Tripping to the bank. Early bird gets the wormhole. Treat it like a race. Run it to the base. That's when niggas safe. That's when niggas like to re-up or put you in your place. Hey, flash on them when the bag on them. Hitting licks when you in the mix. Hit them up, do the dash on them. We ain't worried about hating niggas. Call my nigga, put the mag on him. Leave you leaking right at the spot. Do him dirty, then we flash Gordon. I go hard for my shit. I don't like to play money games. We hustle hard to get rich. Trying to get the fuck off these chains. I'm behind bars when I spit. Injury week like a Saturday. I'm pulling strings for a faster play. I play it safe so I don't pass away.
I'm just saying, I've been chasing for that dollar bill. It's amazing how that dollar feel. Corporation to them dollar deals. Then we back to chasing for that dollar still.
Get it like I'm Flash, and then I spin it fast. Get it like I'm Flash, and then I spin it fast. Get it like I'm Flash, and then I spin it fast. Get it like I'm Flash, and then I spin it fast.
Sounding off around the world. You are listening to GCOM Radio.
It's gonna be ups and downs. I know it may get scary. Not gonna hit the ground. Life like a roller coaster. Roller coaster. Life like a roller coaster. Roller coaster. It ain't always been like this. It ain't always gonna be like this. We laugh and fight the tears of pain from the years of broken hearts and broken promises. Can anybody please tell me what time it is? Cause it should've ended, but it feels like it's the beginning of our lives. It still feels like it's the beginning of the ride. So many people who I thought would whip me through it all put their middle fingers up and buckled and jumped off. It's life is what you make it. I wanna make it well. I don't wanna waste it throwing quarters in the wishing well. Open up my clientele, I'll be with Adele. Hello from the other side. I don't wanna live my life with regrets. So I'ma ride this roller coaster like my life is getting closer to being over. I know I can't wait till I'm older. Time's patient for no one. Too precious to throw away. Live in the moment. Life like a roller roller coaster. It's gonna be ups and downs. I know it may get scary. Not gonna hit the ground. Life's like a roller coaster. Roller coaster. Life's like a roller coaster. Roller coaster. Life's like a roller coaster.
You know what you're rocking to?
Rocking with the best.
Only the best. GCOM Radio.
I got friends I grew up with that ain't getting out, and others who are buried 6 feet in the ground. Life is full of decisions. Oftentimes we can't repick the ones we have lived in. So dream big and pick wise. Live on the outside of the bubble. Avoid the trouble. Influence your huddle. Remain humble. Pull out the shovels. Dig wells other people can drink from. If you're from the struggle, you know that life can be tough, so learn to ride the wave. Contentment isn't cliche, commitment because it pays. Relentless in every way, repentance that's every day. Commits in a newer stage. Trust me when I say, it is never too late to apologize. And I don't care if you're unqualified. We lived and died, if you're alive, you need to try. Joy comes in the morning, it's okay if you cry. I know it's a roller coaster, but we only get one ride.
Life's like a roller coaster. It's gonna be ups and downs. I know it may get scary. Not gonna hit the ground. Life's like a roller coaster. Roller coaster. Life's like a roller coaster. Roller coaster. Life's like a roller coaster. Roller coaster. Life's like a roller coaster. Roller coaster.
Okay, we are back. We just heard this next hot joint, man. All right. You know I love these joints, man. It gets me giddy. All right, so we're gonna get into the next segment, but before we do, we have a little 2-minute segment called The News You Need to Know. So let's get right on into it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Around the world and right in your neighborhood, it's the news you need to know.
Okay, number one, global economy is not doing so well, and the central banks are wary. A couple of things that's making them feel like that is the World Trade Organization is cutting global trade growth projects. Italy is preparing to downgrade its financial growth forecast. Germany's projected growth has slowed. Canada is pushing the pressure on the U.S. trade tariffs on steel and aluminum, threatening the new continental trade deal. Christine Lagarde, she's the managing director of the IMF, that's the International Monetary Fund, and she's worrying that the global growth has slowed. And central banks are concerned, and one central bank in particular is the Indian Central Bank. It's preparing to protect its banking system from any financial dips in the financial market. Number two, Built Robotics' massive construction excavator drives itself. Owner Noah Reddy Campbell is bringing the concept of self-driving cars to the construction business. He is retrofitting construction equipment, heavy machinery like excavators and backhoes and such and so forth, with hardware like GPS and Wi-Fi, giving it the ability to be autonomous and navigate its own way around construction sites. So what he wants, instead of having one operator operating one piece of machinery, he's hoping that there will be one operator operating 5 pieces of machinery. Seems like that particular job is on its way out. And last but not least, Amazon plans to launch 3,200 satellites to bring internet to the world. Amazon is reportedly on the verge of launching thousands of these satellites to provide global internet access. This particular project is called Project Kuiper, I believe. It was discovered by filings by 3 international telecommunications union, spotted by this company called GeekWire, or this organization called GeekWire. The UN estimates that there are 4 billion people underserved by existing internet access options, and Amazon wants to be the company that's going to provide it for them. But they're not the only ones. There is SpaceX Starlink system that are a little bit closer to reality on getting those satellites up in the sky. They should start by, I guess, projected by 2020, and they have a much larger network than Project Kuiper. Amazon's project, and they want to do about 10,000 satellites. So it's funny how corporations are doing a little bit more than actual governments of countries around the world. Look at that. What are you going to do? So that is the news you need to know. Okay, so we're going to get into the last segment of the show after that, and it's all about introducing the world's first gene-edited lizard. I was kind of reading that article online, and pretty much it in a nutshell, scientists have created a means of creating their first transparent anolis lizard, the first gene-edited reptile in the science community. And it just brought things to mind like, wow, if they're doing this to mice, pigs, goats, chickens, and butterflies and in different countries, and we basically have the ability to genetically alter or genetically engineer any biological organism to our liking. Not exactly like science fiction, but we're getting there. We're entering into this new age where we have that ability. Now, as everybody knows, designer babies. We're not just getting into animals, but we also are doing it with human beings. As far as where the science can stretch into. Not that we're actually doing that right now, because technically it is ethically wrong to do such things, and it's against the law in many countries. But we're going to get there. Now, my question is to you, would you have a designer baby? Anybody out there? But with Latasha, do you think you can, if so need be, and the technology is available, the service is available, you have the money, would you have a designer baby?
Well, I think especially with women, maybe even with men, we have this idea or this vision of what our child is going to look like, what our child is going to be, and everything. So, in a perfect world, you would hope that you were able to have this dream child, Is it something that I would actually do? No. But if I could, and it was something morally ethical, something that I didn't think would clash against my religious beliefs, I wouldn't mind being able to select, I want my child to have eyes just like me. I want them to have skin like my mama. I want them to have hair like this person. You know what I mean? So yes, I would want to do that with my child, because we all would want a healthy child, right? I would want to make sure my child didn't have cancer. I would want to make sure that my child had all 10 fingers and toes, and they had both eyes and all their limbs. We would want to be able to design our child in that way, especially. And then if you're able to design their character traits, who wouldn't want to say, I want my child to be thoughtful like my dad, and I want my child to have the cooking of my mom, or you know what I mean? So in that way, of course, ideally you would want to be able to do that, design the perfect human being. However, from a religious side of it, I'm like, nope, I don't play with God's work whatsoever. Because on paper it may be the perfect child, but it get born and it's a hellion. So
you think God is gonna have some special place for you in hell if you feel like you just want to have a designer?
No, I believe God is a forgiving God. He can forgive anything. I think the only thing that unfortunately isn't able to be forgiven is suicide, because you're not able to ask for forgiveness. So yeah, if I did it, he would forgive me. However, I live my life in the ways that I try to be who he created me to be and who he asked us to be. And so I try not to sin and think about, he gonna forgive me later. You know what I mean? So I try to prevent myself from doing things that I know wouldn't be something that he would want me to do. If that makes sense.
Right. Well, it is kind of, it does play like there's a certain theological part to it. Like, are we playing God when we make designer children? And is that necessarily in line with our beliefs? And where do we draw the line? Because, now we're getting into like superhumans. Like, I want my kid to be athletic and super smart. Because if everyone has the ability to have a designer baby, Nobody is going to make their kids short, slow, not as smart. Everybody's going to say, well, I want everything. I want my kid to be super fast, super smart, photographic memory, and all these things, and be able to take the sun and can swim 25 miles an hour like a seal. Like, nobody's going to say otherwise. So what are we doing here when we talk about, we could go in front of you and your husband or whatever could go in front of a doctor and say, yeah, I'm going to check this off. Like, nobody, it's almost like steroids, like in sports. No, I understand why steroids exist. I know what happens. You want to be competitive in the field, right? Whether it's baseball, basketball, football, hockey, bicycling, everybody wants to be the best that they can be. So if you're the person said, well, I'm not going to do that, and you're going to stand on high moral ground and be like, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do what God gave me, right? But everybody else is taking steroids. You are going to be out of the game, because if you can't hit that baseball, run those bases, throw that basketball, dip and dive, and have stamina, all these other things, you are going to pretty much put yourself out the game. So as far as designer babies are concerned, people are going to want their kid to be the best at what they do, 10 times more than the average child. So now, if that's the case, are we setting up a genetic class of superior human beings? And what does it say to the ethical standards or the moral standards of having designer babies? If I could do it, I could see it. I don't want my kid to have hypertension. I don't want my child to have diabetes or cancer. What's that thing that afflicts Black people specifically? Sickle cell anemia. Boom. I want to make sure my kid doesn't have those things. I can understand, when we could get rid of those certain diseases. But where do we cross the line where it's into the Frankenstein area? The only way where it's like physical dominance.
Only way where I would kind of sort of be okay with physical is if you have those cases where you have a woman who's not able to have children, and I'm not saying I'm not able to have children, but I am over 40 now, right? And I don't have any children, and I would like to have at least one child, but what if I'm not able to get pregnant now? You know what I'm saying? So in that case, if I wanted to have a child, I'm kind of thinking, okay, would it be any different than me picking a child to adopt? Because I would want to pick a child that looks like me, that could relate to me, that will feel comfortable growing up in my home, right? And so if I were able to create a baby, for myself, because I cannot have children. If I couldn't have children, I'm not gonna put that in the universe. But let's say I was a woman who could not have children, but I want to have a child. You know what I mean?
Right. You have artificial insemination.
Yeah, if I say
Kanye and Kim did it. I don't know why Kanye and Kim always come up in our
But it's their eggs. It's their eggs, and it's his sperm. And yeah. But what if I can't give an egg? You know what I mean? So I have those thoughts. I'm like, I told my brother, well, you're going to give up some of your sperm because I don't have any sisters to donate an egg. Right. So I'm like, you're going to donate some of your sperm, and I'm going to have to get some woman pregnant so that she can have me a baby.
What's that called again? When they take the egg and I forgot what was that called.
You talking about in vitro? Is that what it's called?
Is that what
there's different terminology. I don't really know.
Right. I forget.
IVF, take the in vitro fertilization, I think.
In vitro fertilization, where the baby, where you take the egg.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
And you put in another woman.
Yeah.
So at some point in time, you say 100 years ago, someone would say that was immoral.
Right.
But we're doing it now. You know what I'm saying? So where do we draw the line? Where is this line? And it's going to be erased and redrawn 20 years from now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I just think it's going to be a bunch of robots. Because everybody's going to look alike, think alike, talk alike. There aren't going to be any differences. That's one of the beautiful things about God's creations, is that we're all beautiful in our own way. You can find beauty in each person. Everybody is not just alike. And
a diverse genetic code.
I worry that we're all going to want the same person. You know how people are already altering their bodies with plastic surgery. And some of these people are starting to look alike with the big boobs and the big booties and, different stuff like that. Yeah.
And then the other part about it, it's going to be expensive. Anything that's put in society is going to be expensive. So now, who's going to have access to this technology, to the service? Rich people?
Right. Okay. Because you can probably guarantee your health insurance won't pay for it.
So now you setting up a class of super smart, super human people, and then are people going to be envious of these other folks that are genetically designed to be the best of society, of the human species? And I don't know, there's a lot of questions, man. There's a lot of questions, and I would do it, but then it's kind of like AI in the same way Elon Musk was talking about, as far as it dooming human civilizations. I think going down that road, it's a slippery slope.
Right.
And it's dangerous, man. It's dangerous.
Because are they really human?
Yeah, because are they really human? Exactly. What makes us human?
Right.
You know what I mean? God? What makes us human? Being born out of vagina? You know what I mean? Naturally? Like,
right.
If we, now I saw online, they have this technology where you can, what do you call it? Incubate a baby in these egg pods, where you can take the egg out of them, you put them in these egg pods, and the child is grown in these egg pods.
Wow.
And you can have it in your home, not in a hospital. You can have it in your home. It's real business.
Shut up.
Real business. I'll show you the link, the YouTube video and everything.
Oh, heck
so, what makes us human? It brings up a lot of questions. Theological questions. So what if someone
steals your child that you're growing in your home? Like, is that actually your child?
You feel me?
In your womb,
Somebody breaks in your home and takes an egg pod. Now that's mine now. Are they like, they stealing your kids and selling them on the black market?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So what are we saying here? It's crazy, right? It's crazy. That's why I brought it up.
It is.
We messing around with animals and lizards and goats and stuff like that. But when we start really messing with the human genetic code and see what's legal and what's not legal, and where is this going to happen, and what are the ramifications for the human species, it's crazy.
What if they figure out the genetic code for a dinosaur and they start creating dinosaurs again?
They already started doing that.
Shut your face. No, they didn't.
No lie. They dug up some woolly mammoths. And of course, the woolly mammoths have been in ice for a long time, and their hair still exists, bones and stuff like that. So they're actually taking the DNA of these woolly mammoths and want to use the closest animal to a woolly mammoth is, of course, elephants. Take the egg from a female elephant, join that, and create another woolly mammoth.
What? Oh my goodness!
It's real talk. So we could literally bring back dinosaurs.
We're gonna be living amongst dinosaurs, and no one can control them.
Yo, it's straight up.
Man,
it's like
have
Jurassic
you not watched Jurassic Park? Look.
Yo, no lie. I will show you. It's crazy what we can do by messing around with genetic codes and splicing genes and all that. It's crazy. And I think, matter of fact, I read an article where it was super taboo, but I think the United States doesn't do clone human beings or genetically or design human beings, whatever like that. Not to that point. I think it's cloning them. That's illegal in the United States. But I read an article saying that China did it. In some lab in China, they cloned a human being.
Yeah, I thought I read something about that too.
You got to, would you want to clone yourself? You walking around and be like, that's not my sister or brother, but that's a clone of me, a mirror image of me. That's crazy, man. What we getting into, the age we getting into.
I know.
We learn a lot. Crazy. Anyway, all right. So we gonna close out that segment. We done, man. That's the last segment of the show. Thank you guys for listening to us our first show on iHeartRadio. You can check us out right there on iHeart platform, on Lyfeblood.com, the Lyfeblood button, or the blog, reading information, anything else that we do not get to talk about, any information that we need to share links, it's in the blog and Lyfeblood Media Center. And for artists, please send your music to submissions@Lyfeblood.com. We're always looking for, some new hot business, whatever that it is. Anything you'd like to say, La?
I'm good. Good show.
That's it? You want to shout out Zayna the Brave?
Oh, my bad.
Hey, where you at?
I'm literally got sweat rolling down my neck. I'm just thinking about getting cool. I ain't even caring about nothing else.
So if people don't know, we do the show remote. We do the show. She's in Warren, Ohio, and I'm in New York, and we just kind of do our show together on from these two different places. So I don't think many people do that, but she's hot because she has to turn off her fan while she records. So I see how she was just like, what? I'm just going to turn on my fan.
I'm like, it's time. I can turn it on now. And you talk about, you don't want to say it? I'm like, oh, man, my mind just wasn't there. I'm thinking about getting cool. Literally got sweat rolling down my neck.
Yo, my bad. All right, so Zane of the Braves, go to genetically-engineered.com, man. Get the book.
Yes, check out my article on Black Enterprise. Yes.
That's what's up. All right, y'all. We out. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Next time.
Peace. Oh, yeah. Check this out. One more thing. Go to Lyfeblood.com. Join the community. Build your network. Find your passion. Be a lifer. And we'll talk more about Lyfeblood.com on the next show. You'll love it. We're coming with a whole new paradigm shift. A new worldview. So, yeah, anyway, we out of here. Thanks for listening. All right. Peace.